Shalom Aleichem, Erev Tov, Shavua Tov. We begin with the difficult news of what happened this morning in Haifa. There was a terrorist attack, and there was a person that was killed. There were many that were injured. Stabbing attack. And the main thing is that everyone should have a complete healing, a complete refuah shalema. And the main thing is that we should be able to go and to bring about the happiness, the joy, the simcha on a good and revealed basis. We want to wish also a refuah shalema to Rav Yisrael Ber ben Simcha Freda, Ben Simcha Freda, who just who had a miraculous story within the story that we just mentioned. His surgery took place in the mall that the terrorist attack took place in, Rahman al-Islam. But everyone in the Kaplan family, Baruch Hashem, is healthy and well, and getting better after the surgery. The main thing is, again, we have to ask and we have to beg and we have to literally demand from Hashem, Ad Mosai, how long is this goal is going to continue? And we should have the immediately the Geula Shleim of Amitis on a good and revealed basis with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach. The Rebbe tells us that the main way to go and to disperse the darkness and change it into light, to change the bitterness into sweetness, is simcha. And especially, this is not only the entire year, but especially in the month of Adar that we find ourselves in. And therefore, we'll begin before our story, the prelude, with a little music to disperse all the not good news and to bring out about the best and the biggest news, the revelation of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach. Vayi bimei Achashverosh, oh Achashverosh, vayi bimei Achashverosh, Achashverosh, HaMelech me'odo ve'yad kush, HaMelech me'odo ve'yad kush, Sheva v'esrim, Umei HaMedina, Sheva v'esrim, Umei HaMedina, Shemi, 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 Nasadai. Shemi, 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 Nasadai, Yai, Yai, Mi Shenichnas Adar Marbim Besimchoi, Mi Shenichnas Adar Marbim Besimchoi. Hey, v'navo, 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 ay, 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 asher yishletu haYehudim heima b'seineihem, asher yishletu haYehudim heima b'seineihem. Adonenu Moreinu ve'Rabbeinu HaMelech Ha'Moshiach le'olam va'ed. Chi Adonenu Moreinu ve'Rabbeinu Melech Ha'Moshiach le'olam va'ed. Chi Adonenu Moreinu ve'Rabbeinu Melech Ha'Moshiach le'olam va'ed. Chi Adonenu Moreinu ve'Rabbeinu Melech Ha'Moshiach le'olam. No, Rabbi say, let's get to the stories. The first story, these stories, the major motif of the stories are all connected with the parasha of this week, the parasha of Tetzaveh. We know that the parasha of Tetzaveh comes and tells us the main motif of the parasha is the big day kehuna. If you don't mind, I'm going to take off the red nose because it's a little hard to breathe, but Big Day Kehuna, the priestly garments. They were all together for the Kohen Hedyot, the simple Kohen. There was four begodim, four garments. For the Kohen Gadol, there were 8 garments. And we're told that this is, and there are all the details of everything that went into these garments, and we don't understand. What's the big deal? You need to go into, you need garments? And the Ramban says it's like the big day Malachim, the clothing of the kings. Go open up a magazine, see what the kings are wearing at this moment, and make the clothes. The Torah goes into the most unbelievable details in regard to everything that is connected to the priestly garments. So we see that priestly garments are very important. Not only are they important, but it says that a Kohen that served in the temple, in the Beis Hamikdash, and he didn't have his priestly garments, so his work is puzzle, his work is void, null and void. So we see that the garment is not only something that was in honor of, to give respect to the Kohen. The garment is what made the Kohen a Kohen. Not the DNA that he came from, of the son of the Kohen, the grandfather of the Kohen. That had to be also. There's no question. Otherwise, he's not a Kohen. But he had to wear the priestly garments. And if he doesn't wear the garments, so that his entire work is null and void. We see what the importance of garments are. They make the person. The garments make the person, literally. There was a person that came from Europe, and she was very not besimcha after everything that she went through in Russia. The Rebbe told this woman, she was from the Lipsker family, the Teibel Lipsker. So the Rebbe told this woman that she should make it a kvias, that she should make it a permanent thing by her, that she should go to all the weddings. Everyone, if you're familiar, there's the Olei Torah ballroom across the street from 770 down the road, the Olei Torah ballroom where they hold the weddings. She should make it a thing by her to attend all the weddings, and before that she goes there out to the weddings, she should dress herself up and make herself appropriate for the respect to give to the chosen and kala. And this is something that she did over 10, 15 years, literally. And she lived a very, very long life. First of all, she got rid of all her atzvus, all her melancholy. And second of all, it gave her an unbelievable long life. She lived to the ripe age of 94. And this is what the Rebbe tells her, that if you want to feel happy, you have to put yourself into the happy mode of happiness. It's not only the clothes we wear, but that every day during the days of the month of Adar, we should sing and we should dance, at least for 2 minutes. I mean, if you're looking at the clock, at least for 2 minutes. Better not to look at the clock. Just sing and dance as much as you can till you drop. But this is something that gives us our happiness, our joy, and this gives us our physical health, not only our spiritual and mental health, but it literally gives us our physical health. I'm speaking also to Rav Yisrael Ber, that is that is now in the recuperating, that he should sing and dance lying in bed. But just, move your hands. Exactly, make a l'chaim. So when we're talking about the concept of clothing, of garments, and the importance of garments, it's not by coincidence, as we know, that everything is hashgacha pratis, everything is divine providence. It's not by coincidence that this past week there was a major meeting between the President of the United States and the President or the Prime Minister, I'm not sure what he is, of Ukraine, who happens to be a Jew, Zelensky. Zelensky is a Jew, he's a Jewish fellow. The President, Trump, told him that when he comes to visit in the White House, he should make sure to take off his his garments. He shouldn't be wearing the garments that he usually wears. He identifies with all the people that are fighting at the front line by wearing a black shirt. Already 3 years now, he's wearing this black shirt. That's what he wears. He doesn't go with the suit, doesn't go with the tie. Trump told him, "You're coming to the White House? I want you in a suit and tie." And he didn't break suit as far as his custom was concerned, Zelensky. He came to the White House with his black shirt. No suit, no tie, no nothing. And among the things that led to the very unorderly manner of conversation that they had was the fact that Trump told him, "I told you to come with a suit and a tie, and you came like this." That is not mechubadik. Yeah, I know you didn't use that word. That is not respective of the President of the United States. That's not how you show up to the White House. When is he telling him this? The week of Tetzaveh, the week of the garments of the priesthood, the week that we're told how important garments are. It's unbelievable. It's literally the peulos, the actions of Mashiach in the world, as we see it through the parsha, Leben mit der Zeit, living with the times, living with the parsha of the week. The next story that we're going to hear is a story that is directly connected to Purim and also garments. They're going back some 25 years ago. There were the two Bochrim. They were two brothers, the Ofen brothers, Mendy and Shmulik Ofen, and they were going in the south, visiting army bases, giving out shalach monas and singing, dancing, making freilach, and they were driving from one base to another base. So all of a sudden, Rahman al-Islam, like we heard that happened this morning, there was a shooting attack, a terrorist shooting attack, and their car was hit, and not only was their car hit, but they also Baruch Hashem, they're healthy and well. They lived to tell the story, but their car was hit and they were hit, and the paramedic that came to take care of them, he immediately got he bandaged up whatever he could, and he got them into the ambulance. And on the way in the ambulance, so the paramedic is saying, "We need a miracle." He says, "What do you mean a miracle?" He said, the bullet that went into one of the Ofen brothers, I believe it was Shmulik, if I'm not mistaken, it literally went in the side of the neck, and it went right by the main artery going down in the neck. And if he didn't have surgery in the next few minutes, so then he doesn't know what the results are going to be. But he's driving, and they're 50 minutes away from the closest hospital. So he really said that they need a miracle. All of a sudden, from the heaven, they see a very bright light of a projector, and they look up and they see there's a helicopter. So the helicopter flashes the projector as to tell the ambulance to stop. The helicopter lands. They go to the ambulance. They take the stretchers out, and they take the Ofen brothers and they put them into the helicopter. The helicopter got them literally within minutes to the hospital. They had the surgery. The brother had the surgery, and Baruch Hashem, not only was his life saved, but he's healthy and well. Baruch Hashem. Since when does if there's a God forbid a terrorist attack, helicopters come to go into to take the injured? Since when? Where does that happen? The story goes, and this is how behind the scenes later on it was found out. The while they were driving, the Ofen brothers, the brother Shmulik said that he's cold. So Mendy was wearing an army shirt. So he stopped. He took off his army shirt and he gave it to his brother Shmulik, and he buttoned it up. And as they're driving, the attack occurred. And when they were being taken care of by the paramedic, don't ask how he got this shirt, but he had a shirt. I guess it was like it's probably something that you can buy in the shops. He had the shirt that he had the ranks of a lieutenant general. Okay, Sgan Aluf. So the paramedic saw that the person that's injured is a lieutenant general. So he says there's a lieutenant general that's injured here, and he has to be evacuated immediately because he's seriously injured. The army heard this, and they sent a helicopter to go and to evacuate the lieutenant general, who was none other than Shmulik Ofen. And Baruch Hashem, the miracle occurred, and Kenai Nahara, everyone is healthy and well. The last two stories are stories from the hostages. Whether we heard or we didn't hear, there's many stories and many stories that were not heard yet. These are two stories that were told recently. First of all, the Tatzpitaniyot, the female soldiers that were meant to be watching the screens to see what's going on in Gaza. Rahman al-San, many of them were killed, but there were those that were taken hostage. And when they were there in Gaza, so they wanted to go and to make Kiddush. They wanted to go and to do something because they remembered from their traditional homes that comes Shabbat, you have to do something special. So you have to be different. Even with clothing, it says that you wear different clothing in honor of Shabbos. And even if the person is not in the mood and not feeling Shabbos, when we put the clothing on, it gives us the spiritual mood of Shabbos. Clothing, again, coming from the spiritual clothing of the Kohen Gadol. So they decided, well, if they can't make, they're not going to get grape juice, they're not going to be able to make Kiddush, so that at least they'll sing songs in honor of Shabbos. What did they know how to sing? They know how to sing Shalom Aleichem. These terrible monsters, the Arabs, the terrorists, the Hamas, they told them there's nothing that can be said in Hebrew, there's nothing that can be sung in Hebrew, no Hebrew songs. They said, no Hebrew songs. How are we going to sing Shalom Aleichem? They knew Arabic, these girls. They knew Arabic. So they went and they wrote down the words. They translated the words of Shalom Aleichem. When we greet the angels in honor of Shabbos, they translated into Arabic, and they sung in Arabic. So the terrorists couldn't hold them against their will. They're singing in Arabic. It's not Hebrew. It's not, and that's how they received the Malochei Asharis, the angels of Shabbos, during the Shabbosim that they were there in captivity. The last but not least story. There is an older man. His name is Segal. I can't remember his first name. Segal, that came out of the again, he was a hostage by the Hamas, Yimach Shemam, and he tells the following story. He tells the fact that during the time that he was sitting there in captivity, so he felt his heart having a dire need to connect with God, to connect with Hashem, but he didn't really know how to connect. He just knew that he wanted to connect with Hashem. The only two things that he knew were two blessings. Two blessings. I think one on the bread, hamaitzi, and another one on I'm not sure what. Two blessings. So those are the two blessings that he made continuously. Anything that he ate, anything that he drank. While they were there, while he was there at least, the people that he was being held captive by, they allowed, or he was able to see from time to time, to see the television screen. On the television screen, there was also, it's Israeli television, and he saw a rabbi, and this rabbi, after the rabbi made kiddush, so he made, instead of washing for bread, he made a blessing on cake. What's the blessing you make on cake? Borei minei mezenes. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Borei minei mezenes. And here, all of a sudden, this fellow's eyes lit up. This fellow Segal, and he said to him, "Wow, this is something novel. This is something totally new." And he immediately went over the words by heart, so he wouldn't forget them. Borei minei mezonot, borei minei mezonot. But and he says that during the rest of the days and weeks and months that he was there in captivity in Gaza, so he, literally on every single, since it was such a novelty for him, everything that he ate or drank, before he ate and drank, he made the blessing Borei minei mezonot, because here he felt that there was a revelation from heaven in order for him to be able to go into connect even stronger with Hashem, to make an even a stronger bond between himself and Hashem. So it's the sincerity of the stories that people go through, and what people tell, that are just unbelievably moving. You can't just sit and be, you have to get excited from these things. And if these are the ways that people understand and people are learning to bond with Hashem, how much more so people that know already how to read from a prayer book, a siddur, people know the blessings before and also after the eating of food and drink. We know how to open up a book of Torah and sit and learn a verse in Chumash with Rashi, to say the verses and chapters of Psalms, of Tehillim. These are the most enormous things. These are the things that we should be inspired from in order to do our service and to connect with Hashem also. And with Hashem's help, the Eibishter should help, that we should have the greatest and most revealed connection with Hashem, with the building of the third and the eternal temple, Beis Hamikdash, with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlita Melech Ha'Moshiach, and it should be techef umiyad, immediately now. Yechi Adonenu Moreinu v'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach Chai v'Kayom le'olam v'od. Amen.